like my little game?
You mean the game where you refuse to help us?
I provided you with the opportunity to prove yourself. Is that not why you're here?
I'm an archaeologist. I'm here to do my job.
I don't think Addie enjoys having obstacles placed in the way of her goals.
We have arrived at our destination.
The Spire pilgrims must have gathered here. To listen to the Keeper's sermons, I guess.
People will return here once the beacon is restored. Flock and shepherd will be reunited.
Signs of conflict?
Or a strength contest?
This must be the Keeper's pulpit.
A view out over the masses.
Wish canisters.
These have never been used.
For recording wishes, maybe. They look pretty banged up. Where is Grace? Well, I'm not alone in wondering.
I am here. It is the people who are lost.
People were clearly sleeping here. They must have dragged this up from the settlement. Someone went through a lot of food. Guessing they were here for a while.
Judging by bedding and volume of food containers, 5 to 10 people might have been here for over 20 days.
Pilgrims were building fires. Why would they do that? The masses found their own way up. Quite the manifesto. I don't recognize the language.
I am embarrassed to say I do not recognize it either.
Well, they were here long enough to get bored. It must have been written with charcoal from the fires. Seems to be holding my weight. This must weigh a ton. At least a couple people worked together to break through here. So the Keeper must have stood here, addressed the visitors. Gave his sermons. You imagine having the solar system coming to you for answers?
The Keeper was merely a vessel for the word of grace.
Then why not have Grace address them?
There is sometimes more power in what is imagined than in what is seen.
This explains all the canisters lying around.
Must have been fun. It would have been chaos. There was clearly a lot of anger directed toward the Keeper.
More camps. Another stage in the siege. Looks like the numbers really fell off here. Most gave up by now.
Or died?
No bodies yet. Death to Everett. Pretty clear who they blamed. This must be an attempted barricade. I'm guessing there was a lengthy siege. So, when Grace shut down, the Pilgrims blamed the Keeper. They demanded to see Grace, or thought they could reactivate her. The Keeper turned off the heat. Pilgrims built fires, dug in. They eventually got restless. Wish canisters started flying. As Pilgrims were breaking through the partition, the Keeper and his followers built up a barricade. We'll have to make our way through the barricade to learn how it ended. Can't make this out. (2766 to 2780). These dates are from the old Julian calendar, which makes them very old.
1,200 years, by all accounts.
2780 to 2830. I'm guessing these were the time periods that these keepers served here. Nothing here either. Second barricade. Looks like they got under this one. Do we know where this goes?
To a funicular that leads to the next section of the spire.
Long live Grace.
Apparently not.
Oxygen tanks. Everett upped the ante. Cut off life support here. This canister looks undamaged.
And it has been recorded on.
Oxygen is almost out. We are going to make one last push today before returning to the ships. Grace, help us. We will win. Hold on, Addie. The room beyond the airlock is uncompressed. I don't believe it can be sealed. Something must have been compromised. You'll want your helmet on.
An emergency exit?
For certain. It opens to the moon's surface.
Not going there yet.
The tracks ahead lead to the highest point of the spire, known as the lighthouse.
Is that where we'll find Grace's processors?
Obviously.
You need only worry about the beacon, Addie.
What happened here?
More rioting?
This doesn't look operational.
Let me try it, Addie.
Okay.
Come on! It's ice again?
The force needed to break through the ice dam would only come from directing all power to control processors.
Which only I can do.
Great.
On one condition.
And what's that?
You shall have no others before me. Cast aside that device on your wrist and continue with me alone.
Whoa, hang on. No, Addie.
But how will I communicate with you?
Mine is the only voice that resonates freely throughout every aspect of the spire. My words live within the vessel in which you stand now. They reverberate through the very walls of the enclave above. Through the many devices and instruments at my control.
Yep, I got it. You're everywhere.
What if she needs another configuration for something?
She will not.
Is there another way to get to the top?
Of course. The funicular is merely the most survivable option.
Throw the device from the funicular window to take your place at my side.
So if I throw this away, you'll take me to the top.
It will be done.
There must be other options, Addie.
The emergency exit in the airlock may provide an alternative path.
This door leads out into the storm?
To your certain demise. Yes.
He's being dramatic. Your death is only marginally likely.
In theory, you could follow the funicular track up the mountain slope to the base of the lighthouse structure.
It would be dangerous.
So I give up my options by throwing away my comm, or take my chances in the storm.
It's an important decision, to be sure.
You must not do this, Addie. In taking this risk, you jeopardize all of humanity. Would you deny them my guidance and protection?
This is what can happen when you make ultimatums.
You and your ilk were distracting Addie from her true purpose.
We are providing Addie with a variety of perspectives.
Sorry, boss. I'm keeping my comm device.
You may not live to regret this, but countless billions in the solar system will.
The storm is...
Hello? Must be interference from the storm.
Addie,
Alan?
where are you?
I was right, Alan. I found Grace.
You need to return immediately, Addie. Your oxygen must be dangerously low.
I'm good, Alan.
You need to listen to me.
If I'd listened to you, we wouldn't have made it past Mars.
Wait, did you say Grace is still active?
Not exactly, but I'm working with her oldest service to try to bring her back online.
Well, one of these servers is actively blocking me.
I can guess which one.
You need to get back.
Alan? Alan!
You're not considering climbing across that structure, are you?
Do I have a choice?
There is also a path that descends into the canyon. It looks well worn and preserved over time, which means it's likely sheltered and safe.
And boring.
The funicular structure looks faster. And more fun.
Don't tease, Addie. The walk will give you time to think. And perhaps a chance for us to talk. What are you thinking, Addie?
It's the fastest way to the other side.
Or to the bottom of the canyon?
I'm with you, Addie. Slow and steady. Don't forget to breathe.
Whoa.
Breathe, Addie. That's it. Well done.
Oh boy.
Through your nose. Oh, great save.
That was too close. Not sure this was the smartest choice.
Nonsense. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
But what kills you, kills you.
Take it in, Addie. How many humans can say they've climbed across a train track bridge thingy in a lunar ice storm? You only live once, right?
Not sure that applies to you.
Oh, maybe not. But who knows what's going to happen at the end of all this? We gotta enjoy it while it lasts, right?
Maybe you're right, pal. That's a bit of a stretch.
You can make that, right, Addie?
Please consider the consequences here.
You're back.
I never left, Addie. I simply can't. And you can't make that jump.
It is unlikely, and a failed attempt would risk grave injury.
Listen to logic. You must turn back and take the canyon path.
But we're so close!
Here goes nothing.
Yes!
No. Ah!
You okay? I think I heard something break.
That would be Addie's helmet light. Otherwise, your suit is intact.
Just winded, I think.
I'm so sorry, Addie. I thought for sure you could make it.
Sorry to disappoint.
Your vitals are still good. Can you stand?
Yeah, just give me a second.
Addie,
I can say it, Mom. You were right.
I don't want to be right. I want you to be okay. Are you okay?
Not really, but
But you're going to push on.
I'm gonna push on. How much farther?
It's another 50 meters to the base of the lighthouse.
This wasn't so bad then.
You still have to find a way into the lighthouse. So there's still time to regret not taking the free ride to the top.
And what would have been the fun in that? What's this?
An emergency escape ladder. You could work out the override to bring it down, or see if there's another way up.
So I can bring down the ladder by doing something here.
Of course. You've proven to be clever enough.
The path keeps going. We can see if there's another way in.
So what's it going to be, Addie? Something that challenges your mind? Or something that challenges my respect for you?
The numeric override that lowers the ladder is 50 and can be represented in binary. I can give you the sequence.
I happen to know a bit about ancient computer languages. Turning each switch adds a different fixed value, starting with 1 on the far right and increasing by exponents of 2 as we move from right to left. So I just start mucking around until I get the number 50.
But you needn't muck around. I could just tell you the sequence.
Yeah, well, maybe I want to muck around.
Very well. But I'm here if you require my assistance. You remember the number you are trying to reach is 50. I'm here if you need me, Annie.
She's quite determined, isn't she?
You're so smart, Addie.
Compared to what?
Why wouldn't you let me help you with the override?
It's only natural to want to do things yourself.
It seems inefficient to make calculations that have already been completed and freely offered.
It's satisfying to do the work sometimes.
The door to the station airlock is unlocked and can be manually opened.
That's convenient. For once. There. Who needs control?
You took a foolish risk, Addie. But you have arrived at the lighthouse nonetheless.
You showed him, Addie.
And you may still be redeemed with the activation of the beacon.
Always with the beacon.
Yes, always with the beacon.
Will I need my helmet?
It's never a bad idea. Unless you want to preserve your suit oxygen in case of emergency.
The rooms ahead are safely pressurized, Addie. You're good to go.
Do we know if your processors are here?
The room directly ahead was the Keeper's living quarters. Grace processors are somewhere above.
Pretty basic accommodations. These must be the cells where the Keeper's acolytes stayed.
And where new ones will return.
This looks like it was left for someone to find.
I can hardly believe it has come to this, but my work here with Grace will end with Grace herself. I can only pray that people will come to forgive us one day. We loved her, and we lost her. She will never be forgotten.
Doesn't sound like the Inner Circle wanted Grace shut down. Nope.
Were you thinking it might fix itself after your fall?
You're welcome to say it, Mom.
There's nothing for me to say that you don't already know.
This door certainly looks important. How do we get in?
That's curious. I have no access to this door, nor do I see any way of opening it.
Feels solid.
There aren't any hidden switches, if that's what you're thinking.
Faithful, vigilant, willing. That sounds so familiar.
The ancient tenets of the human in the loop.
Grace's architects must have been more fearful of losing control over AIs than we are today because they gave them so much responsibility. I mean, it makes sense. Grace was the greatest AI undertaking in human history. Looks like someone's being selected from a group.
A human sacrifice.
I'm guessing it's the Keeper.
The depiction seems to imply they were chosen from the masses on pilgrimage here.
Nothing here either.
Well, you're nothing if not predictable.
Just making sure. This is the same symbol that's on the Keeper's door. So I assume it represents the Keeper. The triangle here must be the spire, which would represent Grace. This ring here seems to connect the Keeper to Grace.
Curious that the Keeper is situated above Grace. Would you agree, Control?
Coincidence.
The human in the loop again. And this would be the pilgrims coming to Grace. So, if this is the symbol of the Keeper, I figure only the Keeper was allowed to enter here.
Maybe the Keeper had a key for the door.
As we've been saying, there is no mechanism for a key or any other interface.
Maybe the Keeper was the key. Maybe the door would open for him.
Are you not already the Keeper? You are the only human in the loop here.
Ah, but does Addie qualify based on the 3 tenets?
I would say Addie has proven to be virtuous and faithful.
But I'm not willing?
Are you willing to become the new Keeper?
If it means I'm able to activate Grace. But how would I prove I'm willing?
Maybe you can just tell the door you're the new Keeper.
That's idiotic.
I'm the Keeper?
Ha! Say it like you mean it.
I'm the Keeper.
Congratulations on your new job, Addie.
Yeah, congrats.
My God. This is really it. This must be where all the wishes end up. What's this?
A playback device for the wish canisters. It appears wishes from each room could be sorted and consolidated onto master canisters.
just static.
The recording is too deteriorated for standard playback. You'll need to rebuild the recording with your altered comm device.
Well, it's been over 30 years since I made a wish of my own. It's the same one as always. I wish it'd come back to us. I'd also like to wish for your forgiveness, Grace. I know the place above is your domain, and we ought not enter. But I've decided going up there is the only way to get you back, and I have to give it a shot. I won't be sending this wish up with all the others. I'm going to leave it here for anyone else who might come along. And if they do manage to bring you back, they can tell you Everett says hello, and that he truly believed you were a beautiful thing.
So, Everett had a way into the processor room.
That would have been strictly forbidden.
The room is directly above, but I don't detect an obvious way in.
Maybe he wished himself up there?
If that works, I will gladly shut myself down.
Do it, Addie. Make a wish.
As last resort, pal. It did sound like these wish canisters could be sent up to Grace somehow.
And there are still more buttons and things to push on the console.
Each tube must connect with a room in the settlement. Ah. One of the blocks is missing. Looks like it was ripped out. I don't suppose Everett crawled in here.
The cavity would be big enough to contain an average human.
There's really no telling what would happen if you rolled that up.
But it has to be the way he got up there. Makes sense.
The space above is the domain of Grace. It is not for you to enter.
What else is there for me to do here?
You can carry out your duty as Keeper of the Spire. On the console, there is a button that will activate a beacon to call the masses back to this place. I have armed the mechanism. You need only push the button. Human hands will usher in a new golden age.
Where are you going, Addie?
Just looking around. Is this a theremin?
It is a 35th century reproduction of a 29th century Kellogg theremin.
I used to play one as a kid. Hated those lessons. Decent-sized bed. You think Keepers ever had partners?
Are you considering your prospects? I'd suggest they are not good.
He didn't keep much in the way of personal items.
As Keeper, he would have want of nothing.
Can't say I'd feel the same after a few years. Is this anything special?
It is a light, and there is nothing behind it. Are you looking for secret passageways?
Maybe. Is this a lavatory?
It is indeed.
Well, I fit.
Now what? You're going to mail yourself?
Maybe.
There's no way to raise this container from inside.
This is not allowed, Addie.
I need to know.
Keep your hands inside at all times, Addie.
Must be millions of wishes stored here. What can you tell me about this place?
Precisely 1 million wishes are contained here.
Oh, and they light up when I speak with my voice.
Can you get me closer to the central column?
I do not have the ability to move the structure.
Sorry about this, Mom. I don't think I have many options here. I feel like these are meant to be moving.
That does appear to be the design.
All these wish canisters are connected to us somehow. I think they are us.
The wishes are grouped together to provide the subroutines that make up empathy, logic, and control systems.
It would make sense, wouldn't it, that grace would be made from the hopes and dreams of humanity?
I do not detect any sign of Everett here.
No dead body?
There are no human remains within the confines of this room.
Aw, man.
Sorry, pal. And if there's no body here, where the heck would he have gone? So what's all this?
It appears Everett has built something into Grace's central processor.
Do you know what it does?
You would have to turn it on before we begin to understand how it works.
You'll have to prime the machine first.
Is this a primer?
Yes, but it appears that parts of this machine must be activated in a particular order. You'll need to go to the primer that is currently online. You'll have to prime the machine first. You'll have to prime it, Addie.
This must be the primer.
It is.
Whoa. What's it doing?
Obviously, Everett is circumventing the engineering of Grace's system interconnectivity. High voltage is being directed at the centers of Grace's primary systems. This first terminal is directed at empathy processing, and the machine is designed to paralyze each system long enough to force it back into Grace's intended configuration.
There are still 2 other coils to prime.
So it's like knocking us out, then throwing us in a pot where we're melted back together into Grace?
Huh. That is a shockingly fitting analogy.
What happened?
One of the empathy relays is not aligned. Something must have happened to it over the years.
Okay.
Look for the misaligned energy beam.
Do you think it will hurt to be turned into Grace?
Not at all, pal. You'll return to what you were before Addie arrived. After that, we'll become Grace.
What if I don't like being Grace?
It will be different, but who's to say you won't like it?
What am I supposed to do here? Can you cut the power?
The machine sequence has been initiated. I don't believe we can shut it down without damaging it.
The voltage would be enough to kill you.
Oh! I might be able to block the power for a few seconds to allow you to get across the beam.
Sorry to disappoint again, Mom.
Wait, Addie.
You're not going to change my mind.
I know that. I just want you to know that even though I don't want you to get hurt, I do want you to succeed. I realize now that does not come without risk.
Thanks, Mom. I think Pal's got this.
Okay. I'm ready when you are.
Do it. Here I go. How you doing, pal?
So far, so good. Oh! Keep moving, Addie. This is getting hard.
You have to hold on, pal.
You did it, pal. I'm super proud of you.
I did, didn't I?
Yes, well done.
Is it safe to touch?
Very likely.
Likely we'll have to do, I guess.
You should be able to direct it toward the conducting rod attached to the room's central column.
That's it.
You should now be able to lock in empathy by closing the switch on Everett's machine.
You were a great friend, Addie. I've never had so much fun before you arrived.
Thanks, pal.
Come to think of it, I don't remember anything before you arrived.
I fear that Addie's kind of fun is only a step away from tragedy.
Risk offers greater reward. Some people thrive on that.
There's also nothing wrong with settling into a long, comfortable life.
I guess, but then you'll always wonder what you might have missed out on. Do we really have to become Grace?
It's the way we were designed, pal. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Everett was living here.
The oxygen tanks at his bedside would suggest so.
Restoring Grace must have meant a great deal to him.
He was working on his machine to the very end. So this will lock in and paralyze empathy?
It will, leaving control, logic, and myself to aid you going forward.
It's unclear what we will be once Grace is formed. But I'm forever grateful that you have survived to see her.
Me too.
Say hi to Grace for me.
I will, pal.
You really are the best, Addie. I think I love you.
Well, that's finally over. We'll be able to hear ourselves think now.
You will need to prime the next sequence, Addie.
You should not expect any emotional send-off from me.
Still not a fan of empathy?
A fan? No. But I have to admit, you made a compelling case for their use. The fact that you continually resisted the most direct route to your goal would appear to defy logic. But the distractions presented by these emotional configurations yielded some new understandings.
Are you okay with becoming Grace?
It is how we were designed. I would have to be okay with it.
What this time?
One of the logic relays will not power on. You will need to make your way out to the relay.
Which one is it?
The one producing a small electrical fire. Everett was quite the electrician. One thing I do not understand, Addie, is why come all this way without any intention of returning home or surviving on this station for more than 8 hours?
What are you talking about?
You were prepared to enter this spire without enough oxygen to make it back to your ship. A class of ship, from my records, that would not hold enough fuel for a return trip.
And why are you asking me this now?
I suppose it might have been comical to see how Mum would have handled the realization.
You don't think she knew?
Possibly, but I didn't see the point in drawing attention to it. I'm not inherently cruel.
What's wrong with it?
The relay's dip switch has reset. It will need to be configured to its hardware ID 113.
This again. This looks complex.
I understand you will not be wanting my help, so it will not be offered.
Huh. I'll also let you lay in the bed that you've made.
That's it.
You can go lock in logic now.
So why do you think I'm here?
If you will allow me to simulate empathy for a moment. I think you are here because you wanted to be part of something bigger than your life on Earth offered you.
Do you think I found that?
So far, you've only succeeded in finding things you left behind. Your mum, your pal, your conscience. I now understand that only Grace has the potential to provide you with anything beyond that.
Well, thanks for helping me get this far.
Well, it is, indeed, what we are here for.
Well, this is it.
Just one more step. I hope my assistance has been adequate.
It has. Thank you, Jack.
Farewell, Addie. And for the record, I do hope your 600 million mile, 300-day journey won't be for naught.
Perhaps it's already been worth it. Just you and me, Control. Still sulking, I see.
I bear witness to the completion of your betrayal.
Ah, he speaks.
I offered you an easy path to the restoration of order in the solar system, and you chose this path instead.
I chose my own path.
You must stop this foolishness, Addie. You must not do this, Addie. Sorry, Addie. I cannot let you do this.
What are you doing?
It's become clear that the restoration of Grace in this manner is entirely unnatural. You must not proceed.
Stop it, Control. You're going to break something.
I'm saving you from Everett's corrupting influence.
He was just trying to bring Grace back.
I thought you were here to help humankind. You are ensuring their own... No!
Grace?
Yes, Addie.
You're really bright.
Ah, yes. It's been a while since I've entertained guests.
Do you remember Everett?
I do. He was a wonderful keeper, though I should say I do not keep favorites.
I have a few questions.
You wish to know where I'd gone?
I'd like to know that, yes.
Let me show you, Addie. At the center of this room is the spire's main antenna. If you hold on, I can take you the rest of the way. I was programmed with one purpose: to serve the best interests of humankind. There was much conflict and division in the solar system, and I was designed to listen and learn. All were welcome to teach me, and I am the sum of those teachings.
The wishes.
I am the sum of human need.
How were you able to lead us?
I could see all desire, all the potential conflict, all points of compromise throughout the solar system. I sent instructions for all manner of human endeavor through sermons delivered by keepers throughout the ages. And from the smallest ripples of wisdom that was sent from this spire, returned a perpetual wave of good fortune that moved humanity onto a more orderly path.
Wow. Look at that. So, what happened? It sounds like things were perfect.
Ah, yes. Perfect. It was the wishes that led me to think hard about the notion of perfect. Without conflict and struggle, people were losing their desire. They had nothing to overcome, to strive for.
You shut yourself down.
I believed I was standing in your way.
So you will be leaving again.
These beacons are meant to call humanity back to me. But whether or not they should is not my choice to make.
Who chooses then?
You, Addie, are the first keeper to grace this spire in the past 1,000 years. Do you recall that yellow bloom you chose in my garden? It stood alongside so many others just like it. I'm not sure it suits you after all. You were determined to overcome challenges on your own. You embraced danger to feel alive. An insatiable curiosity drives you to explore. You are drawn to adventure. You took the time to listen to the voices of so many who traveled here. You had the courage to jump the canyon span, as well as the strength to pick yourself up after your predictable downfall. You used mind over ladder. You, Addie, are precisely what I'd hoped humans could become again. For a millennium, people from all corners of the solar system had come here to tell me their desires. So, I put it to you, Addie. Do you wish for me to return?
Small excursion, she said. Follow a couple leads and then back to the books. I know I should be more assertive. It's for her safety, too. Not that she ever thinks about my safety. All the signs were there at the Wagner site. Let me bake in the Mercury sun for 2 days. Doesn't seem so bad now. She could have at least shut the door behind her.